actually already live on that one because I'm going on YouTube there at the same time. Sorry, guys. Training session, but I'm exhausted because I haven't slept, and actually I'm starving too. I need some food. But so yeah, I'm super tired, but I actually felt like I have an obligation to update you guys on everything that's going on because it has been a very eventful 24 hours or so here. More than that, it's been a day and a half. We had the police here yesterday. And it was, it was to be expected. Obviously, internationally, I have a whole team, but locally, we had nobody. My stepdad died in March, and we were left with my mom, and well, she sent the police, even though she was here Friday trying to trigger me yet again. When she doesn't get her way, she does things her way. So she sent I assume that she accused me of probably endangering my daughter. That would be the kind of thing that my mom would do. But anyway, they were here, and it was actually absolutely fantastic. There were two lovely officers who came, and one of them spoke with Ruby, and the other spent a fair bit of time with me. And I kind of showed them around and showed them our project out back, and I think they were pretty impressed, as they should be. I haven't shown you guys yet. You haven't seen my amazing project. It's so cool. It's going to blow your minds. But obviously, so there's been I haven't been doing any edited stuff with you because I'm in this limbo at the moment because the YouTube, this channel is kind of evidence. It's part of several lawsuits now, and so that kind of takes away the joy of adding I don't know. It's a real confusing thing. Anyway, I digress. We had police here yesterday, and they did their job, and they did it beautifully. And it didn't take too long once I explained things and showed them my mother's affidavit from Australia and showed them her role and responsibilities and explained how the law works with the law of agency and so on and so forth. There was a lot of things that had to be set straight, and what an experience. But I tell you, both of the gentlemen who came were brilliant. Ruby and I are both autistic. We both have PTSD, and my mom was just here on Friday, so I'm frazzled again. I wouldn't say triggered, just frazzled. But no, it was a very positive thing, and so I guess it's kind of official now. My mother is, she's going to I don't know. But the police know what she did, and as soon as they saw the evidence and understood the situation when I explained my connections with the FBI and so on, because I still have my connections who sought me out in Australia, which is great. Because as you guys know, I have a team, and yeah, a lot of them are hackers. I don't know. From day one, I said, just don't help, do your thing, and let's work. We're conversing. I know you're there. The work is getting done, and that's all that matters to me. All that matters to me is that we fix things, and that's what's happening. So it doesn't matter who people are, but I'll tell you, having a couple of humans in our house yesterday who were kind and who were compassionate and who immediately got boots on the ground and got a team in place right here in Medicine Hat for us. So we are not just protected from above and from inside the technology. We are protected on the ground by the boys in blue, and it is such an amazing feeling because, as many of you know, I've had scary experiences with police in the past. And now, look, my sister worked for the police, which is crazy because the guys that were here yesterday work with a gentleman, Ernie Fischhofer, I think is his name, sorry, I'm bobbing around in my seat, I'm so tired, from Timmins, where I grew up, and he worked with my sister. So that was pretty cool. You know, there's nothing, honestly, when you're scared and you're stressed, there's nothing like familiarity to put you at ease. Like just something that rings a bell, oh, it really puts you at ease. So yeah, I had that experience with the police. That is all in motion now from this point, because it was more important that we were sorting out the bigger issues. But here's the thing. This lawsuit that relates to my mother is the current big issue. You know, we're watching graves of babies being dug up all across our beautiful nation the day before Canada Day, and no one knows how to feel except that we all feel sick about it. And none of us are responsible, and this isn't a blame game. It's horrible, and it is part of all of our history. And we just want to make it right. And what I can tell you is that the sick system that allowed this to happen and that has perpetuated just wrongdoings, it's going to stop. I'm sad to say that, or no, actually, no, I'm not sad to say it anymore. I'm really glad for all of us, you and me, that it's me in this position who is the witness and whose mother happens to be the Canadian education official who wrongfully imprisoned her own daughter and granddaughter overseas. People who are trusted to take care of your kids and they put them in danger. Hi. It's a big deal. And she didn't just put us in danger. She actually is the person who signed my death warrant. And she is going to face the full extent of the law because what she did was so horrifically wrong that's. But here's the thing too, you know, there are so many layers to everything that is going on here. So you know that I've got friends in the FBI and I've got friends all over the world. I've got friends in Hollywood. I've got friends all over the place because you know what? I'm a pretty bloody nice person and I treat people respectfully and they know that I'm just trying to do the right thing. Well, I think that I finally figured out that even my friends at the top have just been desperately screaming for help because they didn't know what's going on. Our internet has got a pretty serious problem, as I've been telling you guys. And the biggest problem lies in we rely upon it for our governance. And it has surpassed us, and we have been allowing it to control us for a while now. You know that I created this project, and I'm going to explain to you how this, now that I know that we have boots on the ground and that we're not just watched from the sky, I know that we're safe now. Okay. It's taken me, I'm actually not ready to talk to you, but which is why I look lousy and I'm tired. But it's my duty to tell you because this is a serious public issue. So here I am looking like this and sounding like this. I have infiltrated surveillance, and that's how I know what I know. But I'm going to explain to you how I did it. So you know that I'm autistic and that I'm extremely intelligent. And one of my special talents is that I see patterns. I recognize patterns in everything because I can multitask in the most peculiar ways. I can be working on so many things at once. So everything that I do has a pattern to it. And when I started to identify the people who were surveilling, because I'm also autistic and we do things in a certain way, like rigidity. If you go to the same shop and park in the same spot all the time, and other people happen to have the exact same pattern as you do, the likelihood of that just keeps going down and down and down the longer it goes on. Do you understand? It's just mathematically impossible. And so I started to realize that I was under surveillance, but truth be told, I realized this could be the one thing that keeps us alive, because if people are watching, then we're not completely alone. So I wrote myself into the surveillance. I started to make subtle changes here and there, and I made myself into a code so that they could eventually, when I told them how the code works, they could see what I was telling them. It's kind of like building a time machine. It took me 8 years of subtle differences in my daily routines over all of this footage that was watching me, that kept watching me, because there was always a reason to keep watching me. It never stopped, whether it be a break-in or the joy of being under surveillance when you've been accused of a Hague Convention crime, international kidnapping of a child. All I had to do was buy a bottle of wine and they immediately have reason to suspect that I'm going to go and kidnap all of your kids too. I mean, that's how we judge each other in this community, which is Earth. So I did that, and I did it for years until the law changed in Australia, and I had my best chance of getting Ruby and I out, and it had nothing to do with our welfare. The only thing that was legally making it safer for us to try to get out was that my ex-husband had a child support debt, and a bill was passed in Australia that did not allow parents with child support debts to cross international borders. So that was just, you'll take anything when you're living in hiding and you're running for your life. You will take anything. So once I knew that I was being watched, here's the thing though, I didn't know if it was the good guys or the bad guys or both or what, but what do? You just pray that today's not the day they're just tired of doing it, and there's a good reason to end it. But I had 8 years to compile data for them, proving the breadth of the illegal surveillance, not just now, but to the people inside. See, this is the thing. The people who were surveilling me, most of them are good people. People don't become police officers because they're bad guys. Little boys dream of being police officers to save the world. It's the real world version of wanting to grow up and be Superman, isn't it? It really is. The little boys who are told that Superman's not a job, well, then what's the next best thing? Fireman and policeman. That's what people do. So these people did not plan for careers surveilling innocent victims, watching us being tortured. That's not what they wanted. Now the proof is all out there. But here's the thing. We're all still inside a broken algorithm, and like it's really badly broken because it's binary, and we are not. So if you imagine that there is only yes or no, forward or backwards, those are the only options, and everything that rules us is inside that binary system. It's broken. So what I have been doing, as you see, I am not editing. There are thousands of people now who have seen everything about my life, and nobody wants to have no privacy like that. But I had to, because it was the only way that I could help the rest of you. Because artificial intelligence has no idea of what empathy is or what humanity is unless we teach it. And that is the only way that we can use artificial intelligence to do things that involve surveilling humans. Otherwise, we actually have handed over our entire lives to the machines, which we've done. And they showed us, because COVID-19, she's not a pandemic, guys. We can celebrate Canada Day tomorrow. I believe, based on everything I've been shown, all of the information I have from inside the FBI, from inside my own project, which infiltrated the FBI, so that tells you who's ahead of the game here. All of my information shows that this was something that was formulated to actually protect me. It's pretty crazy, but first I had to be able to figure out that there was a problem, and that required me being safe. And unfortunately, we had a threat, and all of a sudden, actually we had a couple of threats in a row, and then all of a sudden, days after Ruby broke her arm at school, COVID came out of nowhere. And every time we are threatened again, everyone's locked down again. But it's more than that. My code works, and my trail of there's so much in that trail. It's working, and you're going to be seeing a lot of things being uncovered over the next while, like sadly the Indigenous children who are being found. That is my code that helped to show them what they need to be looking for, that they've got eyes from the skies, because while the world is standing still, it's the things that are moving that need to be watched. And they did, and you're seeing arrests happen, and you're going to see things being reversed too, because a lot of things are being revealed. And the code that I wrote, which was really just to save us, but it's proving to do codename Phoenix. That's what they're calling me in the intelligence community. Apparently the Phoenix has risen, and they are inside of the system just like I am, but we can only make incremental changes. There isn't a magic button. And the first step is to stop allowing other people to make your decisions for you. If you want to walk out your door and go to the store, then do that. Your phone or your computer don't have any right to tell you otherwise, and neither do your government, because unfortunately, my project has proven that they're not in control of their own system. So we need to assert our own intelligence and competence, because even the people who are trying to fix it, we're just doing our best, but it's really, really badly broken. And that means the people in charge too. I think of our Prime Minister. It's Canada Day tomorrow. And I was sitting here thinking, oh God, I don't want to do this today, but I have an obligation. I have a moral and ethical obligation, because I have information that relates to you that is very important. And a lot of people are going to be very upset finding out that, yep, there are some major glitches, and the economy is tanked. The economy is tanked, and the money, you know, when it happened in 2008 with the global financial crisis, the money, they created a new false economy, a black economy, by taking all of our existing insurance policies and creating an underground gambling world with it. They started gambling on our lives. So that's how they created new money. That's how they made it come out of nowhere when there wasn't any in 2008. This time it's, have you ordered off of Amazon lately? I've been doing so. And because we've got the project and I was going to get Ruby some clothes and stuff. And Ruby had all sorts of things in the cart coming over from Asia and stuff. And all these, like a $12 shipping fee for one t-shirt, a $10 shipping fee. So like things that make no sense, that I all of a sudden realized there's your new black economy, shipping fees. You know, you don't know where the item's actually coming from because nobody's out in the world. We're all locked down, so we don't see what is going on. So I could walk, you know, from down the block, put something in one of my Amazon boxes and sell you my used crap on eBay, but make it look like it was Amazon and charge you an extra $20 shipping. And literally you're my neighbor and you wouldn't know anything because the world is completely just blinded to what's actually happening. But there is your false economy at the moment. And that's the next little trail that'll, that will open things up there. But yes, COVID is killing people, but it's the flu. It's not COVID. It's not something new. It is devastating that people have died from this, but this isn't what it is. It was a bait and switch because the system's broken and nobody knew how to fix it. So nobody told the truth, and a lie got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the fact is, guys, the economy is tanked and we're going to rebuild it. And I'm getting better now that I have people here on the ground in the real world who I know are actually keeping an eye on us in here, not from the sky. So I'm going to get back to work on my project. And there is a lot that happens with that. And I encourage you all to really, really, really give some thought to what you love to do, because if you can think of a way to actually make yourself happy, I promise you the best thing you can do is find something you'd love to do every day, because we've got to build a new economy, and we've got to set up an entirely new system that actually works within the binary system that we're already in. See, we can't dismantle what's there. It has to stay there, and we have to respect one another and realize that we know it's broken and we're fixing it, and we have to do it in the right order and at the right pace, but we also have to do it democratically. We have to do it in a way that works. Why would you fix something back to the way it was, which is what they keep doing until Mama showed up. And so, yeah, I should apologize, even though I didn't know what was going on. I do believe that I am indirectly responsible for COVID. It was created to save my life, but hey, I'm saving yours. Your lives are saved, you're safe. Now we have to save the economy. We have to build, and it's got to start from the trades, you know, but, you know, the builders, the teachers, the legal system, like, really, legal minds, I hope you're starting to, like, think how you've had to work within this broken system. And I know how frustrating it is because I've been trapped in it. How many freaking times have I been dragged to court when I've done nothing wrong? And I'll be back in court a lot. You're going to see my face so much and you're going to be so sick of it. But every time you see it, no matter what I'm doing that might offend you somehow, I am just a human whose rights were completely stripped away. And a group of amazing superheroes, I kid you not, complete strangers, safely got my daughter and I to a place where we can finally live. We are not in danger the way we were. Look, there's going to be an element of it, but the fact is, if I take this on, I've been in danger for years. It is something that is built in. So nobody understands it better than I do. And I can assure you that I wouldn't be sitting here telling you guys the truth about this right now if I wasn't absolutely confident that you're safe as well. My team is huge and we are doing our best. We are inside the internet and artificial intelligence, but we don't control your decisions. If you keep choosing to go down these polarized paths, then you are going to perpetuate this. And it's just going to, you choose where it takes you. But because we're not focused on your bad decisions, that's on you. That's your problem. That's your life. That's not why we're not in surveillance to watch you. We are in there we're watching me to try to fix what's broken, because dismantling it would actually do more harm than good at the moment. It's better to work with what is in place, but be honest about it. It has been there, and people have made decisions about my life that they are facing consequences for, and my mother will be going to prison. And it's not just for decisions she made for Ruby and I. She accused another person of a crime that they did not commit. And she did that because it was a way to trigger me. She knew that if I believed he had done that and could do it again, then I could never, ever, ever allow that person near a child ever again, because that's who I am. But she made it up. And because surveillance was there, everything is documented, and it's her own mouth, her own words threatening to take his child from him. And then who got accused of kidnapping? Me. So when you are a director of schools for the Canadian government, you hold higher office for all the children and all the families, because it's not just it's never just the person, it's everybody. Everything has a ripple effect. And yeah, I'm not an eye for an eye person, but if you guys have been feeling the way I've been feeling every time I read about more babies at these schools, the children, their bodies being found, it probably sounds demented to you because I'm talking about my mother, but my mother tried to have me killed. My mother knowingly was okay with me dying. And that same person was responsible for your kids. And the surveillance in place is what proves that without a doubt. So, you know, I guess this shows more than anything how this polarity we're all feeling. We are all the same. We are all victims here. We are all being controlled by a broken system. Yep, there are some people who are going down, and you're going to watch me at the center of all the lawsuits because I'm the Phoenix and I got out. We survived, and I promised that no one would ever go through what I went through ever again. Now, I can't keep that, unfortunately, but I will do everything I can to fix this broken system. And I'm doing it. So the thing is, I've given the information to the people who are the right people to do those things. And I've now told you that I believe that because this is a public case, you should always know the actual facts from the actual source in real time. I'm sorry, I was going to go live yesterday, but it was an emotional roller coaster. And after the police left, you know, to be contacted by their team, and see, the last time this happened was when the FBI reached out to me in Australia because they placed an agent within the Australian government who was my social worker. And I had all sorts of cool stuff to contact him. And so when this happened yesterday, that all came flooding back, that memory of feeling like, oh my God, we're not alone. Okay, somebody knows that we're here, and these are the local police. So, and now they're going to learn from what I'm sharing with you. You'll probably be hearing from Ed Snowden pretty soon, and a lot of other whistleblowers. But I can promise you that there are people, good people, really good people, who are all over the internet right now doing their best to help people who need help, because a lot of people are having their lives messed with. I think it's settled. It's settling, but it takes a long time to correct years and years of a mess. So I'm going to be celebrating Canada Day tomorrow, because it's not just Canada Day, it is our 2-year anniversary of arriving safely in Canada. And tomorrow I can officially say that we are the safest we've been since Ruby was born. And that is so worth celebrating. And we're going to do that. We're going to celebrate Canada Day because we're proud of our Canadian heritage. And we don't believe that anything that anyone right now is doing, everyone I'm speaking to right now, you're all people and you've all been through a nightmare lately. The system just went bananas, and it went on attack in a lot of cases. 3 different times I was tried to manipulate. They tried to manipulate me to have me commit suicide. And this was written into the algorithm, and it's all on surveillance. So you need to be vigilant. You need to be aware that there are flaws. They are being fixed, but don't trust blindly. But also, it's not the people you're arguing with on social media who are responsible for this. And in fact, it's not your leaders either. I started to mention Justin Trudeau because I've been back and forth because I don't know the guy, but I know he's watching me wondering, oh my gosh, so what's she gonna, what's the conclusion? What has she figured out here? And it's broken. We need to build an economy, and we got to work together. If we work together, we can get through anything. Trust me, I'm alive. I'm sitting here. We can do it. We'll make it better than it was. But I thought back to, I'm thinking, well, what's my connection to Justin Trudeau? Do I have, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Well, his dad was friends with Joni Mitchell, and she's my friend. So that's a plus. Joni's awesome. And then I realized one of my dearest friends, Kathy, her son, who I've only met a couple times, maybe 3 times, just a fantastic guy and such an accomplished pianist. Oh, and piano player. Oh my goodness. But years ago, maybe between 15 and 20 years ago, when Justin was just starting out in Ottawa, Kathy's son worked on his team because he believed that Justin was going to be the next prime minister. He was going to be, and I thought, well, do you know what? I haven't met Justin, but what I've always had to do, because what do? You find your frame of reference. You think, well, whose opinion would I trust, or who gives me the information that I can best rely on? And that's what came to my mind. And I thought, you know what? That's a good reference. But then I also thought, wow, all those years ago, he was already at this. He was already, fighting the good fight. And I can only imagine in a broken system what it is like to try to get a bill passed, or what it is like to try to convince people of something when 6 seconds after you've said something rational, the internet, the media can twist it and contort it and destroy all of your hard work and manipulate the public, because once it's out, it can be manipulated. So this, it happens. Don't let it control your lives. Am I advising everyone to go out and take their masks off? No, because I'm not the doctor. I'm not the medical professional. What I can tell you is that, yep, there is a massive glitch, and there is no question that the pattern shows that COVID protected Ruby and I. And since the entire virus is written on my daughter's DNA, I'd say that's kind of evidence that we've got something to do with it. So if it was deliberately done by people, then I can promise you they were doing it to help you, because it was just protect me, and I'm the one who's going to get us out of this big mess, or I'm the one who's got the team together that's starting. We're doing our best. We're all, I am so broken, and that's why I'm telling you, I have to heal, because my written affidavits are going to be crucial to all of your futures. So me being as mentally healthy as possible is so important to all of us, which means me making the right decisions for me. So I've been very public thinking, well, you all have to heal too. We all have to work on this together, and we're all working on it broken. But the truth is, here I am with Ruby, and I'm finally not alone. And now there have been people in her life who we love dearly, and they have done wonderful things. But you have to understand that when you are living in hiding and terrified, you can't be anything close to okay. So I hope that the people who were in our life then understand now that they are seeing the big picture, and the big picture is so much bigger than even what I'm telling you here. I'm giving you what I believe that I have a legal responsibility to give you, which is the current information that I have that you did not until I shared with you. So that's my job as a citizen, as a fellow human, because I want to live in a beautiful world, and we're all going to have to work together. Unless you want to spend the rest of your lives paying $12 or $13 to have a t-shirt shipped to your house. I mean, that's going to be fun. Everyone is broken and miserable. And the sooner we start hanging out together and having a good time, the better. What better celebration than Canada Day and our anniversary? Let it be our rebirth. It took us 2 years from the day we landed in Canada, 2 terrifying years. We lost Ruby's grandpa, 3 birds, 6 fish, everything we lost. Everything just fell apart, except for us. That's the craziest thing, is she and I, just no matter how hard it gets, we always bounce back, and because we've always got each other's back. And no matter what, we always make sure that even if we're still upset about the thing, that we express our love to each other, because when that love is there, it is so strong, and it's what gets you through anything, when you feel that love. And I can genuinely tell you, because I don't know who my team are, and I love you all, because the woman who put me on this earth, who I should have been able to trust to protect me and love me the way I love my daughter, she basically sold me. She arranged my death. And the gamut of emotions I have gone through since I've learned the truth, absolutely, because I've seen the surveillance video of everything that happened while I was in the hospital having a tumor removed from my head, and my mother and my ex-husband were watching my daughter together. You can't imagine how horrifying the whole thing was mentally for me. Everything that she claimed that happened that night, which she claimed in a legal affidavit, which went before a judge, it was all falsified. It was manipulating the system. And, the emotions I have gone through are just bananas. But the thing I keep getting back to is that we got out, and tomorrow we celebrate our freedom. And tomorrow is the first day that I can absolutely assert to you that we are safe for the first time, which means I can get back to work, and I can keep doing every amazing thing that I do, and I can do it with focus, and I'll be able to solve all of it because I have the most extraordinary team working with me. And if I'm able to do it, then they can stay as anonymous as they need to, because not everybody wants this. I didn't. I had this thrust upon me. But because it was thrust upon me, I basically said, well, I'll do this if it'll get you your freedom. I don't have mine. And I'm never going to have it because I'm the witness. I'm never going to have that freedom. It's written into the code. It's the way it goes. So fine, a fight for you guys. And that's what I'm doing. But it's not a fight, it's a build. It's a build and it's a climb. And honestly, we can do this together if we all just stop fighting with each other, because that's what's going to absolutely screw us. I mean, it is the goodness of human beings, strangers, that saved my life and my daughter's life to now be here to save your lives. I infiltrated the surveillance to save your lives. And yes, there was a big bad war going on, and yeah, the bad guys are going down by the right people. But we got to get a system that works, because this could turn into an ugly mess of vigilantes, which it already has in the States. I mean, look at the mess that's going on. But now that I'm sharing this with you, it is the system. It's a broken algorithm. There are people who took advantage of it and did bad things. But what we're left with today, right now, I assure you, the people who were doing the bad things, oh, am I screwing with them? Don't you worry. We got your backs, okay? I'm live, honey. Ruby just woke up. She just got some sleep. We were both up all night. I haven't slept yet. But it's going to take time, and communicate with each other. Celebrate Canada Day with us. Maybe we'll see how we're feeling. We might have a big, brightly lit party tomorrow night. We've got our first steak in, like, I don't know, a year or so. I wanted steak so badly, but it's really, really expensive. But we got some steak for a decent price. Actually, you know what? It looked okay. We'll see. I think we're going to love it. So we're going to be celebrating Canada Day because we are proud Canadians, and every Canadian who is here today.
Can you help me?
I'm live, Ruby.
I need help though.
You don't need ice. It's not going to kill you. Give me a second. Let me finish, please.
Okay.
I'm live, both on YouTube and on Facebook. Just flip it over, hon. No, not on the floor. On the counter. Darling, look at what you're doing.
I don't know what to do. I'm not.
Then have it with that ice.
I need ice. It's cold. It's really warm.
Give me a sec.
You're right.
I'm tired. Hey, love. Yeah, we're all messed up. Hey. Tired. All right. Sorry, sweetie. I'm just not very often live, but I think people will understand. There. It is hot. It is hot.
I really got long when I go to sleep.
Yeah, that happens. I'll be with you shortly, okay? I'm just wrapping up here, but I actually am live. She just woke up. And for both Ruby and I, we're like newborns when we wake up in the morning. It's like we have to relearn everything in the first half hour, don't we? Like, I'm worse than she is. No, actually, it's the same. We're the same. So, Canada Day, yeah, pretty cool nation we live in. Hey, it's a Canadian that figured it all out. We've got something to be proud of. The Phoenix is Canadian. I don't know where everybody else is from. Everywhere. We're everywhere. It's pretty cool. You got superheroes all over the place. As I've pieced together my own puzzle, which has been, I mean, you can't imagine what it's like to believe you're under surveillance for all those years, and everywhere you go, it's like, what are these patterns? What are these patterns? Who are these people who are following me? Why does that person always walk with his dog on that side when I'm on this side? Because my brain analyzes absolutely everything. And so then to be able to be the person who finally can testify and say, yes, that was my surveillance. Yes, the guy I winked at the last 4 times, he didn't just think I was winking at him. I was. The family in the pool, yes, I remember you from Sydney, not just Queensland. Yes, like things like that. I'm just giving you examples. But the surveillance, it's almost like it told on itself. We just needed the right people inside of it to be able to figure out what was going on. But unfortunately, the people who are in charge of all this stuff aren't qualified to use it. They don't know how to work it. So clearly we need to get the right bums in the right seats, people. It helps if you don't have a kooky single mom who's been on the run, running the entire planet. Oh, it really is funny. And so this is where I was going with it, guys, is I get to heal now. Yep, I'm going to be everywhere because I can't avoid that. But I get my mental health back. I get to truly heal. And I'm getting back to this project because it is, oh, wait till you see. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be super awesome. But we also had a chat, Ruby and I, about school and, you know, what to do come September, because this is another, my tits, your tits. Not much to them. I can't believe of all the things to mention, that's what came to your mind. I had them removed twice. There's nothing left. Not removed, reduced. Remove this. I don't remember what I was saying, but it was really, really smart stuff. Smart stuff, smart stuff, smart stuff. So I'm healing, and I'm hoping to spend more time with the creative team that I'm working with, like all the superstars who are behind the scenes, who I'm sure you guys are looking forward to meeting. I'm sure that you guys are dying to know which ones of your heroes were funding saving the world. Had to find money somewhere, and it's going to cost. But the big thing is we got to just work. So, Canada Day, shouldn't it be a global celebration? I mean, have Ruby and I not raised Canada Day to global status? I think if this is where the world gets saved from, I think Canada deserves some credit. And I'm going to tell you why right now. When I had to find my happy place. And now I'll tell you, we were lucky because even though we were living in hell, we were in a beautiful, beautiful place. Australia is beautiful. But we were in a situation where we couldn't make friends because we were in hiding. So we couldn't get to know people intimately. When you can't tell anyone anything about you because it would put them in danger, you just stop. You don't have an identity anymore. You actually are just whatever the avatars are that are just the ones that are in the game that nobody's playing. That's what you pretty much become. And that's how I was able to write my code, was because I looked like one of those people that just does the same thing all the time. So, you know, I just had to infiltrate my own boringness, and there you go. That became pretty exciting, didn't I? Funny, really funny. Sorry, I crack jokes about this stuff because otherwise I will fall apart. Of course I would. But when I would find my happy place, it's the kindness of Canadians, that gentle, goofy kindness that everywhere I've traveled to, and people, you're Canadian, aren't you? Everybody always, it's very rare that I don't think anybody has ever guessed American for me, actually. You're Canadian, aren't you? You're Canadian, aren't you? Because I'm a really bubbly, happy, friendly, kind person. I'm a Canadian. I mean, I'm also weird and quirky and autistic and all sorts of other things. But when it comes to my demeanor and my morals, I mean, I grew up in a small town in northern Canada, in a mining town, where you you love your neighbor. My best friends were my neighbors. I grew up, my sister and I grew up hanging out with all the boys that lived out in the bush where we lived, because whoever was there was who you hung out with, and you had a great time, and you made jokes about stupid stuff because everything around you was as lame or awesome as you made it. And I mean, my buddies were building rockets and riding bikes in the lake and dreaming of turning the space between our yards and the lake into a giant baseball field. And it was just when Blueberry Hill, oh my gosh, we had our little mountain where we had adventures on Blueberry Hill. There was just never ending fun, and all we were doing was hanging out. But this is what I sensed yesterday, and I've sensed when we have been out since we've been back in Canada, is that still here is this kindness, and everyone who I've met, everywhere around the world has impacted me. I remember everybody, and you've all impacted me, and I love everybody for different reasons. But right now, the whole world is hurting, and the whole world is just exhausted and needs to be cheered up, but gently, not shaken so much. Everybody's been shaken so much that our brains are going to blow up. But Canada, we've got a way about us. If we can just also learn to assert ourselves and have some confidence in ourselves, are we ready to step up and help the rest of the world through this mess and figure out a way to all work together? I mean, I would love, as I'm growing my production company and setting up all the design studios and all the infrastructure that's going to have to be designed and built. My goodness, whole towns have to be designed, which obviously have to implement all of the eco work that I'm doing. There's so much that has to be figured out that I can't possibly do. But who better to put this all into motion in a kind of gentle and manageable way than my fellow Canadians? And as you know, I've already got a team all around the globe, and they're already doing it. They're already doing it everywhere. But the interesting thing about the people who gravitate towards me and the people who I gravitate towards is they're just awesome. Like awesome in every way, ready to just step up and help. And that's why I've always gravitated towards them, is that I can sense it. I can sense that if I said, please help, they would say yes. And because that's like my do not pass go and collect your $200 thing with me. If you haven't proven to me that if I desperately, need to be moved out of my boyfriend's apartment because he hit me and it's Saturday night and you were planning on going drinking, well, bring the beer. We'll drink it when we're done moving me out. That kind of thing. I'm thinking back to my old mindset when I was younger and choosing who mattered and who didn't. But it's the same. It is the same. You get a sense for who is good and who is not. And now is the time to just kind of trust your guts. And if there's someone who you ever said, oh, I would love to partner with this person, I have this really cool idea, do it. Just do it. We're all going to figure out how. Money is not the only way. If money is in a system that's broken, we have to believe that it's going to take more than that money that is trapped in that broken system to rebuild the system. Do you understand? This is why it's been broken for so long, is there is no reset button. The damage is I'm waving at the alien. I love it. The damage is done, but it's not terminal. I just have to decide what parts we want to be responsible for. Like I told you the other day that I figured out that I want to be Saturday night, because I am Saturday night. I'm fun. When you come to me, you're going to have fun. You're going to feel loved, and you're going to feel like there's something to look forward to again next Saturday. And that's why I've decided that's a job for me. So think about yourself, honestly, like, what is it that I'm really, really cool at, that I actually like about myself? And who else is, or what am I arguing about on Twitter because I really want to fix it? And who is in the same place as arguing with me, who might be interested in actually fixing it with me? Because the people arguing on Twitter make a really good team to work on the legal stuff, I tell you. If you're arguing on Twitter, you've obviously got a predisposition to social justice one way or the other. You're just being manipulated by the system itself. So just own it, write it, make it. You can't rewrite history, guys. That stops. That's got to stop now, because history is what it is. We have to fix our world. Can't change the past. You tried that. That didn't work. That did not work. We're going to fix this. We're starting with Canada Day. But I need some sleep, and I need to, I don't know. Either the aliens are coming or the bad guys. I don't know. I'm prepared for everything. But we are safe. And if I'm able to say that we are safe, that means you are safe. You don't understand that yet, but you will. Because if we are safe, we had to get to a point in my code in the program where I'm able to say these words, which I would not say unless I was sure that it means you are safe, because this is how I roll. And so I think it's time to get to know our neighbors and maybe get to know ourselves and heal and build. I mean, I can't possibly, am I the only person who, out of boredom, curiosity, and geniusness, built a waving building? Waving winged? It's not winged, it's winged. Why? I don't know, it sounds weird, but I like it. I have a waving winged wee shed. I mean, who else would you trust but someone who would build that during a pandemic? But that waving winged wee shed saved your lives. So let's turn it into all sorts of cool things. And that is where the teachers come in. So you know the facts, the important ones. I've shared them all with you. We've got a lot of building to do. We've got a lot of deregulation initially. I mean, everybody needs to think about the rules that are stupid that need to be thrown out. And once we can agree on the ones to throw out, then we fix the ones that are still there, because you got to get rid of the clutter first. So that's where things begin. And teachers are very, very, I keep mentioning teachers, and it's because they really have important jobs. And obviously, so do police officers. My gosh, if it weren't for you boys in blue, I wouldn't be sitting here confident enough to tell you, you're okay, and everything's going to be all right. We are going to fix this, okay? And give your leaders a chance, because they've been going through a nightmare as well. And they're just humans too. We're all humans. Let's figure it out and have fun. Let's sing and dance and eat good food and learn how to love one another again, genuinely, not in the way where we pay false compliments and then walk away saying, I don't do that, but a lot of you guys do. I used to do that. You'd be amazed how much the hell we went through will change a person. And you guys are not going to go through that, because I got to learn that lesson for you all. Lucky me. So instead, we're all going to party hardy because they put the party girl in charge of this. So, you know what? The next time you're about to complain when you see a picture that maybe looks a little too overtly sexual, or the next time you see a musical artist being a little too crude, here's something I can assure you of. They are doing that for you. Just as I am overexposing myself so that the world can stop judging so much. It's not until we normalize what is actually normal human behavior that we stop judging what is normal human behavior. So if you see things being done in extremes, take a step back and tell yourself, maybe they are doing this to protect my rights. Because things, guys, we got so close to communism, you have no idea. And there is no reset button. We are taking this and fixing it in motion, okay? We can't dismantle it and start from scratch. We gotta fix it in motion. Or that's how I see it. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just one vote. I would pray that we've learned that it is our disposable mindset that got us in this mess in the first place, and we realize we've got some work to do to clean up our acts. I certainly have learned that, wow, yeah, I've got some bad habits, and I'm not going to fix them all, but I'll fix some of them. Sorry, I try, I learn. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do my best, but I'm also going to be naughty, and when I do that, I do it for you. So if I get drunk, I'm doing it for you, so that you don't get judged when you get drunk. So if I get drunk, it's because I love you so much. Or like when you see me smoking cannabis, it needs to be understood that people like myself use this as medication. I am not on opioids. I am not on strong medications that dull my extraordinary intelligence. That's what Paxil does. It dulls down all those parts of my brain that saved your lives. And so I smoke cannabis, and it manages both my anxiety and my physical disability, my pain. So instead of collecting disability checks, I smoke some weed, and I'm working for you guys. I guess I'm literally working for you, because we are working. The government is now working with us. They're going to be helping us financially, because, see, I have a conflict of interest in absolutely everything I do. If I profit from anything I do, it is a legal conflict of interest. So it's like, wow. So while in hiding, I got a degree. I accomplished extraordinary things, and now I finally got the freedom, and I can do these amazing things and earn a living. And no, actually I can't. But now that the government has figured out who I am and what I've risked and what I will continue to do, because you know what? I happen to love you guys a lot for saving me and saving my little girl, and I will never, ever stop loving you for that, ever. And I will never stop being grateful. So I will smoke my cannabis, and it will manage my arthritis, and it will manage my anxiety, and I will do extraordinary things. So maybe let's not be so judgmental of that. And I will only visit places where it is legal for cannabis to be smoked by not only me, but absolutely anyone, because there is nothing harmful, and we have rights as human beings, you see. It's not a government's right to tell me what to do or how to live my life. They are there to serve me as a citizen. That is how government is designed. So let's work within this broken system to get it to that point, huh? Because we have to, together. There's no one who has done it yet. So clearly it's not going to happen unless we're all working towards the same goal of happiness and unity. beginning with Canada Day. Everybody's going to eat poutine and drink beer. Bloody Caesars, spicy Bloody Caesars. I don't know if you guys read my Facebook post earlier, but I mean, the beauty of Canada is that it really, it's a melting pot. It's a cultural melting pot. It is such a mix of people. And the further we go into this binary world online, the further we lose all of those beautiful cultures. I love hearing about people trying people's foods. It always comes back to food. Let's not let that die. There's wisdom in, your same parents who bake your cultural foods. Well, they also, so many people have incredible skills and trades that are wasted that we can be utilizing, that we can be building a proper economy on. Your existing economy is based on BS. You realize that, right? Like, we all live within a BS economy. It stopped making sense so long ago, you have no idea. But we're here, and I know that I got to do my part, but I'd rather be happy and having a good time doing it. So let's have a party tomorrow. I'm going to sign off for now. I think I've said everything I meant to say. Yeah, that was about it. I'm tired. I'm hungry too. I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to go lay down. Okay? See you tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye. Y'all? I'm going to say, I like y'all. Love y'all. I'm texting now too. I'm just, whatever. If I say I'm texting, then I'm texting. I'm joking. I'm not texting. Now I am. Not anymore. Now I am. Not anymore. You know what? Playing with your own surveillance is